Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Miles. Hope you guys are having a great day today. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so sorry about my voice in this video, but I wanted to talk about 5 Season 6 buffs that should be coming in Apex Legends. Now, some of these are legend buffs and some of these are weapon buffs. Now, I wanted to talk about them because we do know that based on stats that Respawn looks at, we will be getting constant buffs and nerfs every single season, and usually every big event, like collection event, we usually get some nerfs and buffs as well. But with this, they usually kind of look at win percentage and just how well people are doing with these weapons and with these legends. And if they do consistently well, they usually get nerfed. And if they do kind of mediocre, they usually kind of stay. And if they're really, really sucking, then they usually go up in a buff. Now, what's cool about these buffs is, generally speaking, they're not really anything surprising. Most of the time, we kind of predict all of these buffs that are coming and nerfs that are coming just because everyone's talking about how bad the Havoc is, and then boom, it gets nerfed. Everyone's talking about how bad Octane is, and then boom, he gets buffed. So it's very simple to kind of guess and predict where the buffs and nerfs are going to be going in every season. So I want to talk about the 5 buffs that should be coming in the next season 6. So let's get started. And I'm not going to make this video very long. You guys know I like to keep it short and simple. So let's just get right into it, and I'll go ahead and knock a few out at a time. First off, let's go ahead and state the obvious here. Octane and Pathfinder should no doubt be getting a buff, simply because Octane is still absolute garbage. The double jump has literally done nothing. It's really, really bad still. It's definitely what I think it really needs is, number one, the momentum shift needs to be a lot more drastic. It kind of carries your momentum for whatever direction you're going, and if you decide to turn around and jump the other way, it's not as direct as you would like it to be. It's not as jittery as it should be. It's kind of slowing you down depending on what direction you go to, and I think it just needs to be a lot more fast paced. The jump pad either needs to be faster, you need to be able to go further, or in my opinion, really, it should be a slight redeploy, like a geyser or something. Now with Pathfinder, they can really do 2 kind of buffs here. Number one, they could just fix his cooldown time and bring it down lower to maybe 25 or something, or they could also make a grapple that kind of goes further, like you would see in Titanfall 2. I don't think a Titanfall 2 grapple is necessarily what we need. That's just crazily overpowered. That's not crazily, it's not even a word, but I'm going with it. But I think that kind of grapple would just be way too much for Respawn's Battle Royale game, Apex. So I just don't think that is the solution. I think simply they'll just bring the cooldown time a little lower, which will be a slight buff, but increased buff for Pathfinder, which is definitely kind of needed. Now moving on to 2 weapon buffs I think we should be getting. I want to talk about the snipers. Definitely need to be buffed. I don't think anyone's really using the snipers like they used to. I'm not saying we should go back to Season 2 snipers, because I know the longbow was incredibly overpowered and annoying in a terrible meta, but they definitely need to be buffed at least a little bit, just because I literally see no one running the Sentinel unless it's in a public match. I never see anyone using the charge rifle because of just the ammo problem, and then the longbow, I guess, is kind of situational. If you want to run the longbow, you can, but it just doesn't seem to work like it used to. And if they're still going for that basically meta of choose what you want to, and there's no real meta, it's just kind of whatever, then I guess the snipers definitely should be buffed still, because most people are just still running the R99, the Wingman, the 301, the Mastiff, your traditional weapons like that. So I think it's definitely time for a sniper buff. Now this last weapon buff is probably going to be quite controversial. I know a lot of you are not going to agree with this, and I'm not really saying that it needs to be done, but I think it could possibly be done simply because of the past words of the seasons that Respawn has shared, and that is the Alternator. Now the Alternator has pretty much been changed every single season, I believe. The mag size has been changed, the weapon damage has been changed, the hop-ups have come in and out. Disruptors were absolutely insane, and remember when they vaulted the Disruptors back in Season 2, or the end of Season 2 at Season 3? They vaulted them, and they said that basically they could possibly come back in the future, but they're not guaranteed. They might work on them, adjust them a little bit, and then maybe bring them back at a better and more healthy state. That is very possible, considering it's been 4 seasons since then. They may have updated the Disruptors, and the Disruptors could come back, and they could bring back the Disruptor hop-up in Season 6. I know obviously they didn't bring any hop-ups last season, which we were kind of expecting. So maybe in Season 6 they will bring some new hop-ups, or bring back an old hop-up in the Disruptors, and we could be getting an Alternator buff. But the reason I say that is because the Alternator literally gets changed every single season. Usually it's in a buff, so I would look for probably an Alternator buff in Season 6. And then lastly, I think no doubt Loba will be getting a buff in season 6. I mean, obviously she's the most recent character. Season 5 we had a massive Revenant buff. I think 2 massive Revenant buffs actually, and then season 6 obviously I think they're going to work on the previous legend Loba, simply because she's definitely not being used as much as she should, considering she's the most recent legend. She's definitely not that good, and obviously she needs some tweaks. She needs to be one of the best. They know that because she's like one of the most recent. She brings a lot of attention, she brings a lot of hype, so they need to work on her and make her better. Her tactical is just definitely in need of a buff and in need of an update. It's too slow, it doesn't go far enough, and you walk way too slow when you're trying to use it. So, and it's got way too many glitches. I would also like if her ultimate would get buffed a little bit, where you can get more than 2 items. I just think 2 is not nearly enough, so hopefully they'll bring a little bit of a buff on that ultimate as well as the tactical for Loba. And those are the 5 buffs I think we should definitely be getting in season 6. I know some of them are pretty much like guaranteed. Like obviously I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a Loba buff. I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting an Octane buff, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a Pathfinder buff. And honestly, I'm pretty sure about the Sniper buff too. I think the only one that's kind of controversial is the Disruptors coming back. I don't know for sure if that'll happen, but I think all the other ones are pretty self-explanatory. It just stats go to show you Octane's not winning as many games. People have been complaining about Pathfinder. Loba, everyone knows, needs a buff. And then obviously people just go towards light weapons and heavy weapons over sniper weapons nowadays. So I think for sure they're going to notice that and say, hey, we want to make the snipers a little bit better and more usable. So I think they'll actually bring that buff as well. Now, if you want to argue with those 5 points, that's totally fine, and I would agree with that if you want to argue and say that these buffs are not coming if there were only 5 buffs coming. But the thing is, they're going to bring so many buffs, so many nerfs. They're going to change way more than 5. So I think these 5 will definitely be included in whatever they decide to bring in season 6. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Leave a comment down below what you guys think of these buffs. Do you guys think that these buffs need to come? What other buffs do you think need to come? What nerfs maybe do you think need to come? I have a few in mind as well. So let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hopefully I start feeling better pretty soon, because you guys know I'm not about the bad vibes. It's only positivity, only good vibes, and vibe or die up in here, baby. Let's go. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I'm in bad vibes right now because I'm sick, I'm depressed, I'm lonely. I'm just kidding, I'm not, but yeah, whatever. Bye.